The message is still clear. Stay local.
BC RCMP can now set up road checks on highway corridors that connect the 3 different regional zones. It's an effort to prevent people from traveling for non-essential reasons outside of their zones, and signs like this one on the side of the highway near the Tsawwassen Ferry Terminal are already up, reminding people to stay local.
If police have reasonable grounds to believe you are about to leave your regional zone or are already traveling outside of your health authority for non-essential purposes, they can direct you to stay within your region or to leave the authority at that time.
If you are stopped at a road check, Public Safety Minister Mike Farnworth says police are only allowed to ask for a driver's name, address, and driver's license, any documentation regarding the driver's name and address, and the purpose of the driver's travel. Documentation regarding travel is not required. But a political science expert says there's still gray area when it comes to enforcement.
They can ask what your business is in terms of where you're heading, but they can't ask for verification of that. So that's going to leave a lot in the hands of police officers and their discretion as to whether or not they believe your story for the purposes of your trip. And I think that could lead to certain problems. Certain groups might get targeted more than others.
Criminal lawyer Kyla Lee says she's pleased that people won't have to provide documentation on the purpose of their travel, and reminds people they're not compelled to answer questions other than the 3 listed.
You don't have to get into a lot of detail. You don't have to provide any documentation to prove that that's the reason for your traveling. If you just say work or for essential reasons, that should be good enough. And you don't have to identify any of the passengers in the vehicle, where you're going to be staying, or any of your plans once you're in the next health region.
There is no authority for pedestrians to be stopped on the streets or for arbitrary inspections or investigations to be conducted by police.
But with a long list of essential travel reasons, what's stopping people from lying to police about why they're traveling?
Nothing really, and it really will come down to whether or not the police officer buys your story.
There's no outright prohibition on police questioning somebody if they see like a kayak or a tent trailer or some other recreational equipment, but you don't have an obligation to answer those questions.
Not complying with the road check requirements or direction given by a police officer could result in a $230 fine, and violating the travel ban is a $575 fine.
There are also other consequences associated with not paying the fine. You can't renew your driver's license. You can't purchase car insurance. So if you think, oh, I'll just get the ticket and I won't pay it, that's going to catch up to you, and you're going to find yourself in a much more difficult situation in the future.
At the end of the day, experts say the main message is very clear.
I think the purpose here is the government trying to send us a message not to travel. And I think people are hearing that pretty loudly.
Farnworth says there will be signs giving drivers advance notice before the road checks. The current order will remain in place until May 25th. Miranda Fatur, City News.